So, good afternoon, my dear students. So, today's our topic is theory of indicators. Theory of indicators. What are these indicators? Where these are used? What is the use of? Why these indicators are used? So, generally, these indicators, where these indicators generally we use in acid-base titration. The concept is applicable for acid-base titration. So, theory of indicators, the concept is applicable for acid-base titration. Boys, the concept already we covered in our stoichiometry in titrations topic. Already we covered there. Acid is mixed with base, base is added to acid by systematic addition, burette, pipette, conical flask, end point. All these we completed at the time of our stoichiometry cases, their titration topic in your stoichiometry. Now once again I recollect the topic for this purpose. See here. Here only we use acid-base indicators. That means indicators, those are used in acid-base titrations are only in our syllabus. Next, one more point. This topic is only for advanced. This topic is only for advanced, my dear boys. Advanced point of view, only concept. So this is not for mains level, only for advanced level. This concept is only for advanced exams only. Okay. What are these acid-base titrations? So before entering into the titrations, acid-base titrations, so what are these titrations? So titration is nothing but titration. What is titration? Titration is nothing but a systematic addition. Addition of one solution to another solution. A systematic addition of one solution to another solution is called as a titration. That means compulsory two solutions are used. One solution having non-concentrated solution. First one solution is a non-concentrated solution, and the second one is unknown concentrated solution. Known concentrated solution, unknown concentrated solution. So, an unknown concentrated solution is titrated with a known concentrated solution. Generally, these non-concentrated solutions are called as standard solution. Standard solution. So, generally, this standard solution are taken in burette. In burette, we took standard solutions, right? And unknown solution is there, unknown concentrated solution. This is we are taking in a conical flask. In a conical flask. So that means in a conical flask, fixed volume we consider it. Fixed volume. Fixed volume of this unknown concentrated solution is taken in a conical flask, and this standard solution is filled in burette. Okay, this standard solution is in burette. Now, how sir? See here. So here both the solutions, one solution is among these two, one is acid and other is a base. One is acid and other is base. That is why acid is titrated with base, or base is titrated with acid. Acid is titrated with base, or base is titrated with acid. That combination is called as, that is why it is called as acid-base titration. Acid-base titration. Okay, so there are two liquids, there are two solutions. One is known concentrated solution, another one is unknown concentrated solution. Known concentrated solution is called as standard solution. Standard solution, which is also called as titrant. Titrant. Unknown concentrated solution, which is taken in a conical flask, which is called as titrate. Which is called as a titrate, that is called as a titrant. So these are the considerations. These are the considerations. Okay, so this is about solutions what we are taking in conical in acid-base titration. One is acid, another one is unbase. Okay, so now, so what happened here? See here, this is a burette. This is a burette. Here, standard solution we filled with a standard solution up to the mark, and there is a conical flask. In this conical flask, the second solution is considered. The second solution is taken with the help of pipette. Okay, so boys, one is acid, another one is base. Generally, here we are taking acid. Generally, I am considering this is as acid, this one as a base. One is acid, another one is a base. This base volume is fixed. Its volume is fixed. So generally we take 20 ml with the help of pipette. Generally we took 20 ml with the help of pipette. Okay, see boys, this base just seems to be water. Just it seems to be water. So this acid also seems to be water. So this to the fixed volume of this base, fixed quantity of this base. So this acid is run down slowly, drop by drop. Acid is run down into the beaker, into the conical flask. That means actually we are taking a base here. At the beginning only base is there. At the beginning only base is there. So slowly drop by drop acid added. That means the basic nature in this conical flask gradually decreases and acidic nature gradually increases. At a one point, total equivalence of base is equal to total equivalence of acid. At one point, gram equivalence of base is equal to gram equivalence of acid. At one point, gram equivalence of base is equal to gram equivalence of acid. So where that means slowly drop by drop added. So this acid is going to run down at a particular volume. So gram equivalent of acid is equal to gram equivalent of base. That means at this situation, exact neutralization takes place. Exact neutralization takes place between the acid and base. Between the acid and base, exact neutralization takes place. So at exact neutralization, gram equivalent of base is equal to gram equivalence of acid. Here, law of equivalence concept is applicable. Law of equivalence. That point is called as, that point where gram equivalence of acid is equal to gram equivalence of base. The point, that volume, that is called as equivalence point. Equivalence point. Where at which volume the gram equivalence of this base is equal to gram equivalence of acid, that volume, that point is called as equivalence point. Equivalence point means gram equivalence of that acid is equal to gram equivalence of that base. Gram equivalence of acid is equal to gram equivalence of base. Okay, so this is equivalence point, boys. So our target to find out this equivalence point. Our target to find out this equivalence point. So that means by using our observed facts, by using the color change and like that, so this equivalence point we should identify it. But so this acid is seem to be water, this base is also seem to be water. So both acid and base combination gives a salt. That water solution is that salt solution is also seems to be water. That means there is no color change at anywhere. That means it is not possible to identify this equivalence point. It is not possible, but just by taking acid with base. So that is why to identify that equivalence points, along with this acid and base, there is a third chemical is added. That third chemical, so to indicate the that is equivalence points, that third chemical is called as indicator. An indicator is added into the conical flask. Indicator also added in. This indicator identifies the equivalence point just by changing its color. So at equivalence point, indicator changes its color. Just by changing its color. Before, boys, at the beginning base, in basic medium, indicator has one color. So slowly the acid is run down. Slowly acidic nature increases. But at the beginning, basic nature gradually decreases, equivalence point. If one drop of this acid is additionally added into the solution after that equivalence point, no doubt the entire solution becomes acidic. In Baker, the entire solution becomes acidic after the addition of that another point after equivalence reaches. Okay, now acidic solution. In acidic medium, the indicator has another color. That means there is a color change if acidic nature changes to basic nature or basic nature changes to acidic nature. That means indicator has different colors at a different media. Okay, so that means why it is called as indicator? It indicates the equivalence point where the color is changed. So that one drop is extra drop and not exact equivalence. That one drop is extra. Actually, before the drop, exact equivalence takes place. So this one drop creates the acidic nature to this solution. That means one drop is extra. So when compared to other conditions, this one drop is negligible. That is why we consider that is an equivalence point. We consider that is as an equivalence point. So that means where color is changed. So that color change we consider as end point. That color change is called as end point. Tell me, boys, is equivalence point is equal to end point? My question is equivalence point is equal to end point? What is equivalence point? That gives exact equivalence. That means gram equivalence of acid is equal to gram equivalence of base. Okay, gram equivalence of acid is equal to gram equivalence of base. That is called as equivalence point. Okay, so end point means where indicator color is changed. End point means is where color in the color of the solution is changed. Okay, which is called as end point. Is end point is equal to equivalence point. Means so when color is changed after equivalence reach, if one drop is extra added, then only the color is changed because the basic nature changes to acidic nature or acidic nature changes to basic nature. That means before that drop, equivalence point reach. Before that drop, equivalence point reach, that additional drop creates the conversion of that acidic nature into basic nature or basic nature into acidic nature. So that last drop, that color change, that additional one drop is nothing but end point. Is end point is equal to equivalence point? That's my question. Is end point is equal to equivalence point? My answer is no one. No one. Equivalence point is not equal to end point. So just before that one drop additional, before that equivalence is reached, that one drop gives almost they are equal, not exact. Almost they are equal, but not exact. Okay, so this is very, very important, boys. But so we consider because it is not possible to identify the equivalence points. We are considering so end point is also considered as equivalence point. But actually, end point is not equal to equivalence point. But for our practical purpose, we consider end point is equal to equivalence. For our practical purpose, end point is equal to equivalence point. Okay, so this is very, very important. So that means to identify where the reaction is completed. That reaction is completed means this condition. To identify gram equivalence of acid is equal to gram equivalence of base, where that is reached, there is a need of another chemical. So for indication of that equivalence, that equivalence, so there is a requirement of another substance that is called as indicator. So because this indicator is used in acid-base titrations, so this is called as acid-base indicators. So that is why it is called as acid-base indicators. So our topic is acid-base indicators. Okay, just a minute, boys.